Hi everyone. Welcome back to our podcast Hey English, where we dive into fascinating topics and help you sharpen your English skills at the same time. I'm Philip, and I'm excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Sarah. We're thrilled to have you with us. Today's episode is all about something every driver needs to know: car maintenance and driving tips. Whether you're just starting out or you've been driving for years, we've got something for everyone.
Absolutely. We'll be covering the basics and some advanced tips to keep your car in top shape and make your driving experience smoother and safer. And as always, we'll throw in some useful English vocabulary, grammar, and idioms along the way.
That's right. So, whether you're here to learn about cars or just improve your English, you're in the right place. By the end of this episode, you'll not only know how to take better care of your vehicle but also how to express yourself more clearly and confidently in English.
We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. Buckle up, and let's drive into today's topic. Alright, let's kick things off with the basics of car maintenance. Sarah, what do you think is the first thing every driver should know when it comes to keeping their car in good shape?
One of the most important things is knowing how to check your oil. Your car's engine needs oil to run smoothly, and if the oil level is too low or dirty, it can cause serious damage. Checking your oil regularly is like giving your car a health checkup.
Definitely. And here's a quick English tip: when we say something is the lifeblood of something else, like oil is for your engine, we mean it's absolutely essential. So, your car's engine oil is its lifeblood, keeping everything running smoothly.
Exactly. To check the oil, you'll need to find the dipstick under the hood. Pull it out, wipe it clean, then dip it back in to check the oil level. If the oil is low, it's time to add more. And speaking of dipstick, in English, this word can also be used as slang to describe someone who's a bit foolish, though in this case, we're just talking about the tool.
Good point. Another thing to keep an eye on is tire pressure. Properly inflated tires not only make your car safer but also help with fuel efficiency. Driving with underinflated tires can cause them to wear out faster, and you might even end up with a flat.
And here's where vocabulary comes in again. The word inflate means to fill something with air, like a tire, but it can also mean to make something bigger than it really is, like when we say someone has an inflated sense of self-importance.
That's a great connection. And don't forget to check your tire tread as well. The tread is the part of the tire that touches the road, and it helps keep you from slipping, especially in wet conditions. If your tread is worn down, it's time for new tires.
Right, and the word tread can also mean to step carefully or lightly, like when we say tread lightly in a situation where you need to be cautious. In driving, though, the tread on your tires is all about grip and safety.
Another basic but important tip is to keep your windshield washer fluid topped up. You never know when you might need to clear dirt, bugs, or even snow off your windshield. A clean windshield is key for visibility.
Yes, and in English, the word clear can mean to make something easy to see, like clearing your windshield, but it can also mean to understand something fully, as in clear communication. Just like with driving, clear communication is essential in every part of life.
Exactly. So, to sum it up, checking your oil, keeping your tires properly inflated, monitoring your tire tread, and ensuring your windshield washer fluid is filled are all basic maintenance tasks that can make a big difference in how your car performs and how safe you are on the road.
And as you're taking care of your car, remember that you're also picking up some handy English vocabulary and idioms. It's all about staying in tune with both your vehicle and your language skills.
That's right. Now that we've gone over some essential car maintenance tips, let's shift gears and talk about driving itself. There's a lot more to being a good driver than just knowing how to steer and brake. Sarah, what's one common mistake you think new drivers make?
One of the biggest mistakes is not using turn signals. It might seem like a small thing, but signaling is crucial for letting other drivers know what you're about to do. It's all about clear communication on the road.
Absolutely. And here's a fun English note: when we talk about signaling, it's not just about driving. In conversations, we might signal our intentions or feelings without even realizing it. So, just like on the road, clear signals help everyone understand what's going on.
Another mistake is not checking your blind spots before changing lanes. Your mirrors are great, but they don't show everything. You've got to physically turn your head to make sure the coast is clear.
That's right. And blind spots aren't just something drivers need to worry about, they're also a metaphor for areas in our lives where we might lack awareness. So, whether you're driving or just going through life, it's important to be aware of your blind spots.
Good one, Philip. Another tip is to always keep a safe distance from the car in front of you. We call this the 2-second rule. It's simple: pick a fixed point on the road, and if the car ahead of you passes it, you should be able to count to 2 before you pass the same point.
The 2-second rule is a great way to give yourself enough time to react if something unexpected happens. In English, we often talk about rules, whether it's following the rules of the road or sticking to grammar rules. Either way, it's about keeping things safe and orderly.
Speaking of safety, another common mistake is speeding. It's easy to get caught up in the flow of traffic, but sticking to the speed limit is important. Not only does it keep you safe, but it also keeps your driving record clean.
And in English, we can use the word speed in different ways, too. For example, you might speed up your learning process by practicing every day, or you might slow down to really understand something deeply. Just like in driving, finding the right speed is key.
One last tip: avoid distractions. It's tempting to check your phone or change the music while driving, but even a split second of inattention can lead to an accident. Staying focused is crucial.
Definitely. And the word distraction is important in English, too. Whether it's a noisy environment or a wandering mind, distractions can keep you from doing your best work. On the road, they can be downright dangerous.
So, to sum it up, use your signals, check your blind spots, keep a safe distance, follow the speed limit, and avoid distractions. These driving habits will not only make you a safer driver but also help you stay in control and confident behind the wheel.
And as we've seen, these tips aren't just about driving, they also tie into everyday English expressions that can help you communicate more effectively. It's all about being aware, whether you're on the road or in a conversation.
Exactly. We've covered a lot, but there's still more to come. Stick around as we dive into what to do when things go wrong on the road. Don't worry, we've got you covered. So, let's talk about what happens when things don't go as planned on the road. Even with the best maintenance and careful driving, sometimes you'll run into car trouble. Philip, what's the first thing drivers should do if they find themselves in a tough situation?
The most important thing is to stay calm. Whether it's a flat tire, a dead battery, or something more serious, panicking will only make things harder to handle. In English, we use the phrase keep your cool, which means to stay calm under pressure, and that's exactly what you need to do in these situations.
Definitely. Let's start with a flat tire, which is one of the most common issues. If you get a flat, the first thing to do is safely pull over to the side of the road. Make sure you're in a safe spot, turn on your hazard lights, and then assess the situation.
And when we talk about hazard lights, it's a good reminder that the word hazard means something that could cause harm or danger. So, your hazard lights are there to warn other drivers that there's a potential issue.
Once you're safely off the road, you'll need to change the tire. You'll need a jack, a lug wrench, and a spare tire. If you've never done it before, it's a good idea to practice in your driveway so you're prepared when it happens on the road.
Great tip! And in English, the word jack can refer to a tool you use to lift your car, but it's also used in phrases like jack of all trades, which means someone who's good at many different things. So, it's useful to be a jack of car maintenance.
Another common issue is a dead battery. If your car won't start, you might need a jump start. For that, you'll need jumper cables and another car with a working battery. Connect the cables in the right order, positive to positive, negative to negative, and you should be able to get your car running again.
And the term jump start is also used in English to mean giving something a quick boost, like jump-starting your day with a strong cup of coffee. So, just like with your car, sometimes we all need a little extra energy to get going.
If your car overheats, that's another situation where you need to act quickly. Pull over, turn off the engine, and wait for it to cool down before opening the hood. Never try to open the radiator cap while the engine is hot, that's a recipe for serious burns.
That's excellent advice. And here's a language tip: the word overheat can describe more than just your car's engine. It can also refer to a situation that's getting out of control, like when an argument starts to overheat. In both cases, you want to cool things down before they get worse.
And it's always a good idea to keep an emergency kit in your car. This should include things like a first aid kit, a flashlight, blankets, and some basic tools. It's like the old saying, better safe than sorry. Being prepared can make a big difference in an emergency.
And in English, the phrase better safe than sorry is a classic expression that means it's smarter to take precautions than to face regret later. Just like with car troubles, it's always good to be prepared for whatever life throws your way.
So, whether it's a flat tire, a dead battery, or an overheating engine, staying calm, being prepared, and knowing what to do can turn a stressful situation into something manageable. And as we've seen, these situations also offer great opportunities to learn and use practical English expressions.
Exactly. Now that we've talked about handling emergencies, let's take a deeper dive into advanced car maintenance. Even if you're not a mechanic, there are a few things you can do to keep your car running smoothly and avoid those emergency situations we just discussed.
Absolutely. One of the more advanced tasks you can tackle is checking and maintaining your car's cooling system. The engine generates a lot of heat, and if it overheats, it can cause major damage. That's why it's so important to keep the coolant at the right level and make sure the system is in good shape.
And speaking of coolant, here's a quick English tip. The word coolant comes from the word cool, which means to reduce heat. In conversations, if you want to cool down a tense situation, you're trying to calm things down, just like coolant does for your engine.
Exactly. Another advanced maintenance tip is to regularly check your brake pads. Over time, brake pads wear down and need to be replaced. If you hear a squealing or grinding noise when you brake, it's a sign that they're wearing out. Keeping your brakes in good condition is crucial for your safety.
That's a great point. And in English, we use the word brake in a couple of ways. Of course, it's the pedal you press to slow down your car, but we also talk about putting the brakes on a situation, which means to slow it down or stop it completely, just like your car brakes do.
Another thing to keep an eye on is your car's battery, especially the terminals. Over time, the battery terminals can corrode, which can lead to starting problems. Cleaning the terminals with a mixture of baking soda and water can prevent corrosion and keep your battery in good working order.
And here's another English connection. The word corrode means to gradually wear away, often due to a chemical reaction. We also use it metaphorically, like when we say that negativity can corrode a good attitude. Just like with your battery, it's important to keep things clean and positive.
Another advanced maintenance tip is to regularly inspect your car's belts and hoses. These parts are often overlooked, but they play a critical role in your car's operation. If a belt or hose breaks, it can lead to major engine problems. So, it's a good idea to check them for cracks, fraying, or other signs of wear.
And the word belt isn't just for cars, it's also something you wear around your waist. But in English, we also use belt to mean a powerful hit, like when someone belts out a song or takes a belt in a boxing match. It's all about power and strength, just like your car's belts provide.
Finally, let's talk about wheel alignment. If your car pulls to one side when you're driving, or if your steering wheel isn't centered when you're going straight, it might be time to get your wheels aligned. Proper alignment not only makes your car easier to handle but also helps your tires last longer.
And here's an interesting phrase: when something is aligned, it means everything is in its proper place, working together smoothly. We use this term in life too, like when our goals and actions are aligned, everything just seems to flow better.
So, by taking care of these more advanced maintenance tasks, you're not just extending the life of your car, you're also driving more safely and confidently. And as we've shown, these tasks also tie into some useful English expressions that can help you communicate more effectively.
Exactly. We hope these tips help you feel more confident in both maintaining your car and mastering the English language. Now that we've covered advanced car maintenance, let's switch gears and talk about something just as important: driving etiquette and road safety. Keeping your car in top condition is crucial, but how you behave on the road is just as important for staying safe.
Definitely. Good driving etiquette is all about being considerate and aware of other drivers. One of the most important things is to always give the right of way when it's needed. For example, if you're at a four-way stop, the driver who arrives first has the right of way. It's a simple rule, but following it helps keep traffic flowing smoothly and prevents accidents.
And speaking of right of way, here's a quick English tip. We use this phrase in life too. If someone has the right of way, it means they have the priority or the right to go first in a situation. Just like on the road, it's important to recognize when it's someone else's turn and to respect that.
Another key point is to always use your turn signals, even if you think there's no one around. It's not just about letting other drivers know what you're doing, it's about forming good habits. Consistency is key when it comes to safe driving.
Absolutely. And in English, the word signal is used in many contexts. It can be a physical sign, like a traffic light, or it can be a way of communicating your intentions, like signaling that you're ready to start a meeting. In both cases, clear signals help everyone know what to expect.
Another part of good driving etiquette is being patient, especially in traffic. We all know how frustrating it can be to be stuck in a jam, but staying calm and not rushing helps prevent accidents. Tailgating or trying to weave through traffic can lead to dangerous situations.
Patience really is key, both on the road and in life. And here's a language connection. Tailgating doesn't just refer to driving too close to the car in front of you. It's also used to describe a social event where people gather near their cars, usually before a sports game. The context really changes the meaning.
That's a good point. Another tip is to always watch out for pedestrians and cyclists. They can be harder to see, especially at night or in bad weather, so it's important to stay alert. Yielding to pedestrians at crosswalks is not just good manners, it's the law.
And the word yield is another interesting one. In driving, it means to give the right of way, but in general English, it can mean to produce something, like a farmer's field yielding crops, or to give in or surrender in a situation. It's all about understanding when to step back and let others go first.
Another thing to remember is to avoid distractions while driving. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating. Whether it's texting, eating, or even just daydreaming, anything that takes your focus off the road can lead to an accident.
And here's an idiom related to that. We often say keep your eyes on the prize, meaning stay focused on your goal. In driving, your prize is a safe journey, so keeping your eyes and your mind on the road is essential.
Finally, always be courteous. A little kindness goes a long way, whether it's letting someone merge in front of you or giving a friendly wave to thank a driver who lets you pass. Good manners don't just make the road safer, they make driving a more pleasant experience for everyone.
And in English, courtesy is all about showing respect and kindness to others, whether you're driving or interacting with people in everyday situations. A little courtesy can make a big difference.
So, remember, driving etiquette and road safety are about more than just following the rules, they're about being aware, patient, and considerate of others. And as we've shown, these principles apply just as much to communication in English as they do to driving.
Exactly. We hope these tips help you become not just a better driver, but also a better communicator. Well, Sarah, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of car maintenance to driving etiquette and everything in between. I think we've given our listeners a solid toolkit to keep their cars in great shape and stay safe on the road.
Absolutely, Philip. It's all about being proactive and aware, whether you're taking care of your car or navigating the rules of the road. And along the way, we've also explored some interesting English vocabulary and idioms that can help our listeners improve their language skills while they drive.
That's right. It's amazing how much you can learn when you're open to it. Whether it's understanding the importance of clear signals on the road or recognizing the value of patience, these lessons apply just as much to everyday life as they do to driving.
Exactly. So, as you go about your day, whether you're behind the wheel or just walking around, keep these tips in mind. They'll not only help you become a better driver but also a more effective communicator.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you found this discussion helpful and enjoyable. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who might benefit from these tips.
And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to drop a comment or reach out to us. We love hearing from our listeners and are always here to help you navigate the road, both literally and figuratively.
Until next time, keep your car well maintained, stay safe on the road, and keep improving your English. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye for now, and happy driving.